Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto got a new training trip partner that would change everything. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for the new episodes over on Anime King and Anime King 3, which I do hope that you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what if we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, we found out that the two twins were trapped in the ball before the clan wars even ended. Yes, they were trapped in there for a very, very long time. As Naruto spoke to them, as Oboro spoke to Jiraiya as well, she didn't really know how to be a grandmother. After all, she didn't even get to see Kushina grow up, and now she finds that she has a grandson. It was strange. As she spoke to Naruto as he hugged her, as he never really had a blood family before. So he was happy, as she told him that he was alright now, as she was here. Time passed as your training continued. Everyone kept on progressing quite well, getting stronger. As Naruto even learned that he can produce chains. Yes, a Uzumaki bloodline trait. And he was getting trained in them by Oboro, as he was getting stronger. Jiraiya then brought Naruto out to train him. Well, a practice test to see how far he has come in the couple of months. Jiraiya was underestimating Naruto a lot. It made Naruto get angry. Rather angry. As the man was thinking of him like he was no threat at all. And not to mention Naruto was already pissed off that the man stood there and keep on hiding the fact about his parents away from him and acting like it didn't matter. It made Naruto so furious as he attacked Jiraiya with everything that he got. Jiraiya underestimated Naruto too much, so he was unprepared when Naruto create this Chidori and slam it into his own hand, using the Fox Chakra to turn his hand and slam it right into Jiraiya. That caught Jiraiya completely off guard, as he slammed into the wire that Naruto clones created as he started to dig into his skin, the electric pulse knocking him out. As Naruto made his way, Tayuya came to speak to him. She ended up punching him in the stomach because he was talking about liars. After all, she never lied to him before. She didn't understand what he was feeling, but she had made her intentions clear that she liked him. But he had a lot of crap to work out, and so did she. After all, she was still using that defensive mechanism at cursing most things, and acting like things didn't, well, really matter. Yes, they had a lot of crap to work out, but probably they will be able to work it out soon. And, well, it will be for the better. As Naruto knew that he was going to have to talk to Jiraiya sooner or later, as he was still furious at the man though. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the playlist and check it out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? Sorry, said Jiraiya. As Naruto was currently in front of him, slamming his fist into a wooden post. As Jiraiya was standing behind him, he gave those words as a peace offering. "I'm not," said Naruto, as he still had a scar on his left arm, a reminder about how far he went to win, using his own ability to slam into his arm like that to make sure he got Jiraiya. "You deserve that," said Naruto. "Yeah, I didn't expect you to try that hard," Jiraiya said, knowing that his own attitude was to blame for the viciousness in the fight between him and Naruto, as he had a rather nasty mark from where Naruto's technique had burned him. It seems like he should never underestimate Konoha most unpredictable Konoha Shinobi, as Naruto knew that he had something on his mind to say. "Say what's on your mind, Erasenin," he said. "How did you know about it?" said Jiraiya. "Oh god, let me get a list," said Naruto. Of course, he couldn't just tell Jiraiya that someone had told him. Kakashi had been very upfront about that. After all, it had been, well, a secret, and Naruto wasn't supposed to know. And he didn't want anything to fall on Kakashi, because the man told him something that no one else decided to tell him, which he greatly appreciated. How about the fact that I look like him? Maybe it's because the first Hokage wife was a Uzumaki, or maybe it was because she was the previous Jinchuriki host, and I am a Jinchuriki. That stood to stand that the fourth Hokage wife must have been the Jinchuriki between us. You taught him, he taught Kakashi, and Kakashi taught me. I mean, god damn it, his face was on a goddamn mountain, and no one connected the dots when they saw me. I mean, this is ridiculous, said Naruto. And you expect me to believe some bullshit mandate the third Hokage made, expecting enemies to take attack because of some crap that happened in a war? That is what happened in war. People die in war. When it is over, you say, god damn it, these people are dead, but at least they fight for their country and die, doing what they love to protect each other. And then you move the hell on, said Naruto as he smashed his fist into the post once again, creating a larger dent this time. And also, one more thing. I know that all married couples put their names next to each other on a memorial stone, and I doubt that Kushina Uzumaki was married to Sarutobi by Waka. Jiraiya chuckled at that, just to lighten up the tension. Yeah, he said, I actually taught your mother too, and Shizune. As Naruto turned slowly. Really? Yeah, Shizune used to be a really big crybaby, always worrying about what her Uncle Dan would think, looking down from heaven. She's rather kind-hearted though. I didn't want her to get tainted with anything to do with the war. So I signed a release so that my team would get dissolved and she could begin her medical ninjutsu training. How did she end up with Snaddy? Naruto asked. On the night of the Kyuubi attack, we were holding a line of defense, and we watched your parents get their life taken that night. There was a lot of regrets, but Shizune was probably holding a lot worse than us. Her three best friends had just died. All three of them grew up together, and they were on the same team together. She couldn't believe they were dead. She tried her best to heal them after they were already gone. She went into a 3-day coma after chocolate exhaustion. After that, she decided that she couldn't stay. So my sensei decided to let her along with Snaddy, thinking that they might do some good with each other out there. JJ was a good man, said Naruto. Better than most people I ever know, said Jiraiya. Say, what do you know about Kiri? He asked. I met a couple of Newton from there once. Zabuza Momokai and his assistant, a boy named Haku, said Naruto. Then, you know about the bloodline purges? Naruto nodded at that. Well, Kiri is actually in the middle of a civil war right now. The Mizukage is winning, since most of the village is too afraid to stand up to him. But there's a resistance that is fighting back. One of my informants is a part of that resistance. If you're interested, we can leave Uza at any time and go help them fight. Have you talked to the others? Naruto asked. Only Abrou. She's really not excited about the prospect of sending you off to war, but she thought it would do good rather than you staying here in this empty village. Well, if I'm going anywhere, you know that Tayuya will tag along as well. And it would be a hard sell to leave the twins behind, even if Abrou is staying with them, said Naruto. That's true. And even though they were born in the Warring Clan period, it would make me rather uncomfortable to make kids that young fight, said Jiraiya. They had turned 9. Well, that was what they told the group. And they were rather frustrated at seeing that they were not getting the same treatment as Naruto and Tayuya. They want to be trained as hard as well. The exact thing they were told. When Hushiram and Madara were 9, they were already fighting in the wars for 2 years. But Dad never let us do. We wanted impressive enough so he would let us on the battlefield. The two of them were rather insistent. And they were stronger than they look. Really stronger than they look. But they couldn't really, well, handle it, Jiraiya believed. They were still just 9-year-old kids. Times were very different from then than it was now. So they would just have to stick to the practical learning. Alright, I'll tell them, said Naruto. Time skip. So, let me get this straight. You, me, and Birdshit Sensei are going to go into life territory where there's a war going on. And if we mess up, you know that Konoha Head is going to be in the chopping block with Kiri, correct? said Tayuya. Naruto did not know when she started to, treat herself like a Konoha shinobi. But he liked it. He was happy. Yeah, but it's no fun to pick for the winning team. Root for the underdogs and that kind of jizz. Besides, if the rebels win, do you know how good we will get within your new regime? That kind of stuff isn't forgotten, said Naruto. Right, like Uzu, partnership, and ties with Konoha, she said, as she rolled her eyes. Screw you! Besides, Kiri is a major nation, said Naruto. I've been ready and waiting for months now, piss brain, she said. And whatever. You can go ahead and call me in. Not like I can trust you to watch your own ass. You stare at my ass, said Naruto. I mean, someone's got to. Might as well be me. Come on, you met Ino once, and she turned you into a pervert, said Naruto. Shithead, how stupid can you be? Who is your teacher again? Erasenin, said Naruto. And what does he do with his free time? Well, right smut. Wait, are you saying that traveling with me and Erasenin turned you into a pervert nerd to axe? Well, I mean, waking up with you in all kind of position, and you trying to cuddle me in your sleep. It didn't really help, she said. Oh yeah? Like you didn't ask for it, by wrapping your arms around me every night for 2 months, said Naruto. For as stupid as people said that he was, Naruto surely had a way to make excellent points for his arguments. Anyway though, I'll let Erasenin know that you said yes, said Naruto. Moments later. But what do you mean you'll be disappearing for a while? Said Rei, as she looked at Naruto. Erasenin, Tayuya and I are going to go to Mizunokuni for a little bit. Don't worry, just stay here to Oboro-chan. And keep training, and maybe then you'll be able to beat me, said Naruto with a smile. As Oboro nodded as she already agreed to the plan. But that is not the reason why we're training, Kuga said. Then why, said Naruto. To protect you and Oboro-san, said Rei, finishing for Kuga, as a twin smile. I mean, think about it. What kind of clan heads doesn't have guards? Naruto blinked at that. Wait, me? Not Oboro-bachan, he said. While the woman was in her late 20s physically, she decided not to say anything about that. After all, he was her grandson, so he was allowed to call her that. And while she treated the twins like they were her own kids, they were older than her. Well, they were still kids. But she treated Naruto like he was almost adult as well. No, Naruto, she said. I was married to him. It wouldn't be my place to take the position as clan head. All the Uzumakis I knew are dead, and their spirits belong to the village. I can't leave this place, but you have a home in Konoha, people to go back to fight for, not just in memory, but in flesh as well. You can rebuild the foundation of our clans there, and leave Uzu, memory, to the dead it belongs to, she said. Uzu is just a building, said Naruto. When you strip all the equipment and store it away, and the village Forbidden Scroll is gone, and no people, all that is left is just buildings, said Naruto. But the souls of the Uzumakis, their memories, rest in all of us who are still alive, for us to carry it on. Each of us carry the hopes and dreams of all the Uzumakis in us at this point, said Naruto. As he thought about his mother, she probably didn't all know him for a couple of hours, but she sacrificed her life to seal the Kyuubi away inside of him with her husband. For the good of a village and the love of a son, they had given him the greatest power in the world, a Biju, sealed within his stomach. It had made him fear and hated within Konoha, but it gave him the strength to be able to stand on his own. For him, there was no gods, there were no masters, only the knowledge, only the memories that his parents did all they could do what they had, and the idea that he could follow in his father's footsteps to become even greater one day. Well said, said Oboro, and that is the exact reason why you should be the next clan head. On the one hand, he didn't feel old enough to be a clan head. When he thought about the others in Konoha, they were in mid-20s or late 30s, most of them even older. On the other hand, he never knew enough Uzumaki for them to be a clan of them, he thought. Before you leave, she said, I want to teach you the contents of the Forbidden Scroll. They're your techniques, at least they will be, when you formally become our clan head, she said. Knowing your aptitude for learning, it shouldn't take more than a couple of days. And you too. As she turned towards the twins, as she gave him a fake glare, You aren't allowed to know any of them, she said. Both of them pouted. But that means you have to train us extra special while Naruto isn't here. Yes, I know, she said. Now, it's time for you and us to get to work as she turned towards Naruto. As Naruto's smile matched hers. Time skip. My informant will be coming in my boat, but we should probably water walk, where the lightning won't get in the way. Water walk? On the ocean? Are you crazy, said Tayuya. No, but he is, Jiraiya said, as he pointed towards Naruto. When he makes a shadow clone, his chakra is split. His reserves are massive. A clone can carry me and a clone can carry you. That just sounds like abusing my ability to expend more chakra than will. But whatever, I'll do it, said Naruto. As he created a clone that picked up Jiraiya and blasted off into the water, where the sun directed. Your turn, Tayuya-chan, he said. As she hopped on his back as they made their way, they had to come to a stop on a small island, and Naruto clone dispersed and they had to wait for the boat to arrive. It took about 15 minutes. While it wasn't moving that fast, it arrived. Wait a minute, is that? Nah, it can't be, said Naruto. You might be surprised, Jiraiya said. As a thick mist then came around them. It was. As a voice then came out. There are 8 targets: throat, spine, liver, lungs, jugular vein, subclavian artery, kidney, heart. Too many choices and at the same time, not enough. So tell me, kid, which one should I strike first? Good to see you too, you broless wanderer, said Naruto. So, how's Haku? I'm doing well, Naruto-san, the masked hunter said. The mist kept them from seeing him, as Haku and Zabuza had made their way off the bridge. At the land of Wave, after all, seeing Gato came on the bridge, they realized that, well, their mission was over, and Zabuza had took Haku and made his way off. And now it seemed like they're working for the rebellion forces at Kiri. As soon as the mist finally cleared up, you know, when Jiraiya said that you'll bring help with him, I didn't expect you to be the help, said Zabuza, as he had armored teeth covering his lower face and throat. I really hope you improved since the last time we met, because those simple tricks that you used to have won't make it against the Kiri elites. And they won't hold back on you. So all that playing nice you did with the Haku on the bridge, it won't make it in Kiri. Trust me, brat. Don't worry about me, said Naruto. Didn't you already fail to assassinate the Mizukage once? Yeah, and that attack is the one that set off the rebellion. If I had Haku with me before I attack him, I might have been able to kill him. Yeah. Regrets can stay in the goddamn past. Don't we need to keep going, said Tayuya. Who's the girl? Judging from her attitude, I can tell that I'll like her. She seemed much better than Pink Hair One. So tell us, who's your girlfriend? Haku removed his mask. He's just teasing. Jeez, Haku, said Naruto. You really need to get a scar or something. I mean, your face is so feminine. Everyone's gonna think you're a girl. Wait, you're a boy? Both Jiraiya and Tayuya said at the same time. Is it so surprising? Well, your voice didn't help at all, said Tayuya. Zabuza-sama, is that the reason I wear the mask? Haku said. Well, it is a little less unnerving. And plus, it also keeps our cover, said Zabuza. So with that, the group made their way on the boat. Zabuza told him to brace himself as he went through hand sign, and the boat started to race forward, creating waves as it moved. Time skip. On the edge of Kiri territory, inside a concealed cave, as the ninjas sat, Naruto with Tayuya on his left and Zabuza on his right. As Jiraiya was sitting down the man with a metal patch over both of his eyes, it was impressive that he was still able to fight without the use of his eyes. And between the two men that was our guard, sat the leader of the rebellion, Terumi Me. Everyone in the room would have to admit, even Tayuya, that the woman was stunning as she was wearing her fantastic blue dress. Only 3. She seemed somewhat disappointed, clearly, having hoping for more. Be that as it may, Misan, the 3 of us would be more helpful than 3 or 4 or more of Konoha platoons, rank or files. You know me, of course, said Jiraiya, but as for these 2, this is Naruto. As Naruto had his grandfather headband on his forehead, Chunin, Naruto Uzumaki at your service, he said. Jonin, Tayuya. They're the two strongest ninjas you will find without big names, at Konoha mostly, said Jiraiya. Naruto is a champion at stealth and misdirection, as well as a ninjutsu specialist. He's managed to evade full, on-foot patrols in broad daylight. Tayuya is a genjutsu specialist, maybe even the best one I know. She defected from Orochimaru after he left her for dead. Both of them can use water and lightning, although Tayuya's main affinity is earth, and Naruto has fire and wind as well. For affinity, the man with the eye patch said, Keki Genkai or Aokan, don't pry. Every village have their secrets, said me. It wasn't a stretch to believe that she was talking about what was ever under those eye patches. No, it's fine, said Naruto. Tell me though, is it true that Mizukage is a standby Jinjulke? Yes, the Rokibai Jinjulke is allied with them as well. And we have word that Kumo is also sending the Nebe and the Hakusebi Jinjulke to fight with him as well, said Zabuza. Naruto laughed. And you tried to assassinate him? Man, you're almost as dumb as I am. Zabuza, you know this boy, said me. He and his squad was sent to protect a man that Haku and I were paid to kill. Even though it's because I underestimate him, he managed to beat me as a first genin. Not gonna lie, my pride is still a bit hurt because of that, said Zabuza. Well, Kakashi Sensei did most of the work. You tire each other out. And right when I was about to have you, said Naruto. My condolences, Naruto-kun. But I wasn't going to let Zabuza-sama die, Haku said. Nah, you're fine, said Naruto. But to answer Ayo question, yes, I'm a Jinjulke. Which one? The Kyuubi Jinjulke, said Naruto. I've already stomped Ichiban's hosts. So I guess I'll see how I can stack up against others who have control over their Biju now. Well, that's one mystery solved, said Zabuza. Well, maybe you get your chance to avenge your honor in a Kenjutsu match someday between us, said Naruto. So, said Naruto as he looked towards me. When do I get to show you what I can do, he asked. Time skip. This wasn't wars like what he read about. With full platoons. This was find and assassinate. This was a different tactics. Nowhere near something like the second or third Great Shinobi War. Full platoons being sent out to crush the enemy. And this was perfect for Naruto, after all. He was able to hide his senses quite well from others. Tayuya Invisibility Genjutsu and Jiraiya Invisible Jutsu as well provide a double layer boost if he needed. Combined with his clone transformation trick into kunais, he gave off the illusion that he can be anywhere at any time. And his enemies taking out his clones, it seems like he could never be killed. So that is what he has been doing for the past week, at the moment. As me was sitting at a distance away from him even though she wanted to talk to him. After all, she was going to be the future Mizukage, as it dictated if they won this war. Oi, Mei-chan, said Naruto. You don't have to sit that far away. So, what's up, he asked. I wanted to check on you, she said. A good leader should know the people they lead. Some of my soldiers saying that you haven't been eating much. Just one meal a day. Are you alright, she asked. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I can sustain myself off the Kyuubi's chakra for 2 or 3 days without even eating anything, said Naruto. It's not really healthy to be honest, but it conceals resources, and I still managed to come out on top. Why? Was I acting more aggressively than normal? No, I was just wondering, she said. And I also want to thank you for coming to fighting with us. Even though it's only been 3 of you coming to help us, you've been a great help turning this war around. We were struggling just to hold on, but now it seems like we're on equal footing with Yagura forces. I'm just doing the right thing for ninja. Morality is always kept out of the loop. That having been said, I'm happy that the good people always came out on top with every conflict I've been a part of. If we're lucky, we will keep that streak alive. Also, I may have gone behind Ero sending back and get a bit of a backup, but don't expect more than a 3-man cell though. All that proof is that Jiraiya was right to bring you. People like you are rare, and I am glad to have you on our side, she said. If you're interested, I will be happy to give you a position of Jonin in my ranks when we win. You have proven yourself to be more than capable, she said. No, you're just flattering me, said Naruto. Am I being buttered up like a lobster? What's next? Attempt to flirt your way into my heart, said Naruto. I mean, you're quite irresistible. So it will probably work, he said. Oh, I'm irresistible, she said. How would that redhead feel if she heard about that? Well, she would probably try to gut me with a solid end of her flute. And after a while, she might even succeed if she tried long enough. As he laughed, what is the situation between you two anyway, she asks. I mean, you sleep in the same club. You practically breathe the same air. And you're always not too far away from each other on the battlefield anyway. And you need to get better spies. I have seen all of them that are watching me. Ayo was difficult to find. But when he charged, chocker to those eyes. I don't know how the hell he got a Byakugan. And I don't really want to find out. What I want to know is, if the Byakugan is there, what the hell is under the other eye patch? That's a secret he hasn't even told me, said May. Still, you're avoiding the question. Did something happen between you two? Well, something has been going on the whole time, pretty much. Giving her a short version, he brought her up to speed with his relationship with Tayuya. It was strange. So let me get this straight. You're afraid what will happen if you commit to her fully, based on your past attachments. And she is worried that the horrors of her past will prevent her from giving you the attention that you deserve. Yeah, exactly, said Naruto. We decide to hold off on anything official until we feel like we're ready for something different. Would you like to hear a story? Asked me. It would be rude to refuse a story from such a beautiful woman, said Naruto. As me giggle. Maybe spending all this time with Jiraiya, where Jiraiya has been failing. It seems like it has been helping him to realize and understand about women a bit. Maybe. As me continued. I'm 29 and I never had a man to call my own, she said. A large part of that has to do with the bloodline purges that ended with the third Mizukage's death 2 decades ago. And I didn't have to keep my Kikinkai hidden any longer, as flirtatious as I am. No man is willing to get close to me in a romantic sense, she said. I am sure that you know about the moniker of our village. The bloody mist, she asked. Yeah, it ended when Zabuza butchered an entire graduation class at the age of 6. And that is where you got the phrase. She nodded. That was the year after I graduated. In any event, I was paired, doing my academy training with a boy my own age. His name was Ryua. Unlike Konoha, those days in Kiri Academy, our training began at 4 and we graduated at 10. Ryua was a boy I ate every meal with, who I cried in front of, who I laughed with. We slept in the same bunk together. And on the day of graduation test, I killed him with my first attack. He didn't try to block it. When I asked him why, he told me it was because he loved me. And he cared about me too much to kill me, so he made up his mind to die in my place. As he fell from my kunai, I told him I loved him as well. Ever since that day, no man has willingly approached me, unless it has to do with the mission at hand. Even Ayo and Zabuza, as loyal as they might be, are afraid what will come if they get too close to me, she said. All no brow is worrying about is sitting down at the blackjack table and to find me at dealer spots, said Naruto with a joke. It paid off when me laugh. You really are one of a kind, she said. You're not worried about what my flirting can do to you. Oh, the horror, said Naruto as he held on to his heart of falling in love with someone. What is the worst that can happen? There is never a better bet than me, even though I doubt I can fall for you, said Naruto. I'll be 16 in about a month, and that's a generation age gap, he said. Besides, I don't doubt that there's a man out there waiting for you. You might not know him, and he might not be here right now, but I promise he's out there somewhere. The words brought a smile to her face as she swept the bangs away. If you want my advice, take what you can with her. Regrets are something that plague every ninja's life, after all. Living is not certain, especially in this world. If she dies tomorrow, I know that you will have regrets not loving her in the time that you had. It will be the same for her if you die. Warzone is definitely not the place for something like that, but it is the best place to go on and not fear anything or any regrets at all, because you know at the end of the day, you accomplished and you achieved all that you wanted. Trust me, she said. May look like she wanted to continue, but the ceiling shook, considering that you were underground. Oh no. All of you, prepare for a battle, she shouted as she rushed off. Time skip. Hey, red bitch. Hey, eyebrows, said Tayuya. Given the fact that Zabuza didn't really have any eyebrows, the both of them had, well, taken a shine to each other. The relationship consists of them insulting each other, and most people around as well. Naruto probably took the worst hit. Pissier kid. That was probably the worst thing he has ever been called. So, what's up with you and the kid? Is there something up with us? Asked Tayuya. Well, May-sama want me to check on you, to see if everything is good. You two practically live together like a married couple, but anytime anyone bring up something about you two, you back off rather quickly. It's complicated, said Tayuya. I was sent on a mission to kill a man that boy protected. He was about to turn my ass in the grass. But now he's out here one shot in half of the Mizukage's man. Everything ninja do is complicated, girl. Hearing some tragic love story isn't going to face me, girl. Fine, asshole. This might take a while though. I got all the time in the world, he said. Even while relaxing, he still seemed like a threat. Tayuya then told him what happened from when Jiraiya rescued her. As he heard about the name Ibiki, that man was tortured by Hiro in the war, but the man never broke. There was a ceasefire, and all captured was returned to Konoha, and the man never broke once, even under torturing, as he heard everything about Naruto living on the streets, and also about his best friend Sasuke that put 2 holes in his chest. Consider that, your best friend, putting 2 holes in your chest. And also Sakura used him as a punching bag until he got serious and realized that he needs to become stronger. It was hard for him to get close to anyone, as things never really work out. And you? You're not the type to be dissuaded so easily. I've seen you turn down some other guys, more than once, said Zabuza. I was Orochimaru's personal guard. I was partially responsible for killing the third Hokage, someone who Naruto think of as our grandfather. But when Orochimaru tells you to do something, you have to, unless you want to be strapped down to a table, unless you want to be turned into a monster. I barely have few memories from my past, but the most I know is that he took an innocent little girl and turned her into a killing machine. I can't tell you the amount of times I woke up having killed my bunkmate because he lost control, and the seal on my neck eats up my chakra reserves every time I get too angry. I don't want something like that happening to him. For me to, well, make him feel that way. The way I feel constantly, she said. As Zabuza saw her rub at the seal. Well, you have to control it then, said Zabuza. Just like the way he controlled the Kyuubi inside of him. Jiraiya is a full jutsu master. He probably has something to block it off until you get it removed. I have no idea to tell you what to do about your memories, but I can't see why you and him can't be together even now. Sure, being together and not working out your problems can come back to bite you in the ass in the long run, but it's not like you're gonna be flying solo. And it's not like anyone's gonna tell you guys that you can't work out your own personal hell. You might even find that working out your problems together would be easier to solve them. He's a good kid. I'm sure if you talk to him about it, he will probably have a change of heart. But their conversation couldn't linger as the place started to shake violently. The shaking finally reaching them. Something was wrong. The reason for the shaking was Yagura army was out full force. They were going to eradicate the rebellion once and for all. As Naruto summoned his clones as he transformed, as he handed them out, as he laughed, like father, like son. Throw, on my signal, he said. And when they return, keep throwing if we're lucky. We won't have to fight a full-scale battle, said Naruto. As Naruto let his clones transform to his father, signature, Hiroshin Kunai. Fire, said Naruto. There were many people that knew about Yellow Flash. There were some, even in this war, that had saw him on the battlefield. And when those kunai landed, they knew that they meant death. His giant butcher blade was in his right hand, and a Rasengan in his left. To everyone watching him, it was Minato Namikaze coming back as a ghost to wreak vengeance on them for some reason. And then there was another one, a red-haired woman, as Tayuya didn't need a transformation to look like Kushina. As Tayuya speed through hand signs and chains started to rush through their enemies from Naruto. As Naruto kept on vanishing, replacing himself with his clones that would transform as he sliced through enemies after enemies, as it was like a butcher tearing through meat. As Tayuya vanished in Shanshin, as Naruto clones spring up to life, as they start to wipe out Yagura forces, as 2 of them start to flee. Naruto glanced over to the watching me. How many man does it take to deliver a message? He was sure that they were running away to tell Yagra. The message was received a long time ago, imposter, as a staff rested on Naruto's shoulder. The point of it was right near his throat. Someone was standing right behind him. Seeing no reason to keep up the illusion, Naruto dropped it. Why would Konoha aid the rebellion, said Yagra. Because a voice said behind him, it's the right thing to do. As Yagra stood there was a clone behind him with a kunai resting right at the back of his neck. Naruto's clone was destroyed in an instant as both Jinchurikis leaped away. Get them all out of here, said Naruto. A slight problem with that piece for brain, said Tayuya. A force that was 10 times larger than the one that Naruto took out arrived. As Naruto recognized none of them but their chakra, it felt just like his. From years of warp, of having a Biju seal within you. All four, said Naruto. The help that he sent for, they need to get here, quickly. Well, I'm gonna say this, said Zabuza. We're all screwed. As he clutched onto his blade. Still, I may be able to even the odds a bit. I know there are 5 Jinchuriki here, but they don't call me a demon for nothing. They call you that for your temper, Zabuza-sama, not how overwhelming powerful you are. God damn it, Haku. Play along. 1,000 apologies, Zabuza-sama, Haku said. If you think you can do something, I'm all ears. There is no way Naruto can take on 4 Jinchuriki by himself, said Jiraiya. There you go again doubting me, said Naruto. The group turned as Naruto was standing right there. Yagra is over there fighting one of my clones, said Naruto, seeing the look they were giving him. I mean, I have so much of them around here, all transformed, that it could take him hours to finish them off. They're only good for 1 or 2 hits. That's different between me and them though. And they even have access to some of the Kyuubi's chakra. Wait, so you're telling me every one of their clones could go into a possession mode and we can have 1,000 copies of you with the Kyuubi chakra on their own? Well, not to that extent, I think. But they can all draw on the power without affecting me from drawing from it, said Naruto. Wait, said Zabuza. You're holding off the Mizukage with nothing but clones? You're joking, right? Zabuza asks. Well, we're not dead, right? So yeah, he's being held off with a few clones, said Naruto. You're bullshitting, right? Please tell me you're bullshitting, said Jiraiya. He knew that Naruto held off the Ichibai, but Yagra had control over his Biju, and it was a clone! Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, said Naruto. But my ability to evade always gave me that edge. Now, time for you guys to get the hell out of here. Oh no you don't, said Ayo. You can have all your fun once I'm through killing my enemies. And with that, Ayo, rotate the other eye patch up. As Naruto saw the secret, not only did he had a Byakugan, but he also had a Sharingan as well. The thought that he could use both Keiki Genkais without being born into either of the clans, the amount of mental strain that took, that was something else. His name was Shisui Uchiha, said Ayo, seeing Naruto looking at him. He had a rather strong mind-altering jutsu, and I can use it to forcefully override one of the enemy's minds to make with them join our side. I just have to make eye contact. I can only use it once, and the one with sunglasses cannot be affected. That's the Hakusabi Jinchuriki, younger brother of the Raikage. He will be our biggest concern, even more than Yagura. The other two are Utsukata, the Rokibai, and Yujito, the Nibe, said Jiraiya. Do you have a preference? Ayo asked me. No, whichever one make eye contact first. Don't waste your time going for one specific one, she said. Meanwhile, remind me again why we literally crossed the continent plus an ocean to get here. Karasu is gonna get water in his joints. Shut up, Kankuro. We're here because the Kazekage told us to come with him, said Temari. She would have smacked her brother, but the fall was rather long, as they were thousands of feet up in the air. I'm right here, you know. Besides, you don't have to refer to me so formally, said Gaara. I know, it's just habit. Besides, you earned the title. Why shouldn't I call my little brother by his rank? Gaara smiled at his elder sibling, as the both of them started to bicker back in front. As Gaara recalled, Naruto words to him, back, at the invasion. I fight for others because I believe they will do the same for me. You fight for yourself because you believe that they won't do the same for you. One steel cable can be severed, but if you bind those together, enough of them, you won't be able to cut through them all at once, said Naruto. He started to collect those cables in his mind one by one, as he started to improve his relationship with many people, including his siblings. With each by heightening his senses, Gaara saw the enemy down below, and not to mention that blonde hair, a lot of them. As he scanned the field, that would be the real one. There you are. As the sand beneath him opened, and Gaara came down as another pillar of sand rose up. Gaara, said Naruto as he saw his friend. Naruto, you mean to tell me that the aid that you requested was the Kazekage? Said me. And his older sibling, said Naruto as he watched Conqueror and Temari landing behind their brother. Introductions later, Kazekage Dono, we've been trying to come up with a plan, since they have been gracious enough not to attack until Yagura order the first strike. Do you have any ideas? I am the host of the Ichibai Jinjulki. While the option that gives us may not seem obvious, as everyone knows Shikaku is a sand and wind demon. Naruto? Yeah? Where are we? Oh, that's easy. Kiri, said Naruto. What is Kiri? Gaara asks. A collection of islands, said Naruto. And what does the island have? Beaches? And what? It's on a beach. Sand. Lots and lots of sand. Even under the ocean. Now, Naruto was getting a clearer picture as it came to his mind. It will take a lot of chakra, but I can grind all the soil here into sand, said Gaara as well. 2 Jinjulki on 4. It was getting better, and once Ayo made eye contact with Utakata or Yushito, the battle turned to a 3-3. Try to kill as few people as possible. We're already stretched very thin. Noted, said Gaara, but I will defend myself and my siblings. I wouldn't ask you to trade their lives. I just want as little bloodshed as possible. I understand. On my signal, 3, 2, 1, go. The ground around them shifted into sand as Gaara sent the sand forward. Flee now unless you choose to die, said Gaara. The shinobis all had to move back on the other side, or they will be squashed by the wave of sand. As Ayo made his way, as he made eye contact with the blonde woman, the Nibe, host, she would remain in a coma until he reactivated the technique. Yujito-chan, that sucked, man. I'm Killer B, and you will receive pain after messing with me. Does he do this all the time? The Rokibai Jinjulki, the one that hasn't introduced himself yet, Sai. That meant he was Utakata. Yes, unfortunately. Don't diss my rhyme, it is slug, squashing times B. As Jiraiya negated the seal that was on Naruto, and all hell broke loose. B was shocked as hell when Naruto moved. Speed even cutting past the man's reflex as he sliced the man in the face. Killer B turned as Naruto saw the gash, slowly stitching itself back up as it leave behind a scar. I can heal perfectly, but I think I'll leave that be. Reminder not to underestimate a ninja with a sword that great. Oh my god, do you ever stop Naruto asks? Make me take you seriously, you fool, you fool? Utakata released 3 bubbles as Gaara leaped away as they exploded. He was lucky to move. Floating bubbles then Naruto as he ducked as a hook staff passed over his head coming from Yagura. Utakata, keep the Ichibai busy. Killer B and I will deal with the Kyuubi, said the Mizukage. Gaara sent his sand forward to grab onto the Mizukage, but more bubbles slammed into the sand and exploded, blowing it to pieces. Your opponent is me, said Utakata, as he used his bubbles to float up in the air. So focus on that, honor, amongst thief, as the saying goes. You won't have to worry about them until you defeat me. Besides, if you can't do that much, then you don't stand a chance against those 2, said Utakata. Your blood will be a perfect offering to my mother's spirit, said Gaara. The dark lines are in his eyes, seeming more menacing than before. Meanwhile, as Naruto leaped back as Yagura's staff smashed in the ground. So how long do you think you can keep me on defensive? Yagura, with all due respect, you don't seem that strong. I kept you busy with a few clones for like 5 minutes, and you only managed to kill 2 of them. Why? Did they just give you the Mizukage pity treatment? Silence, you have no idea what this station means. I know enough to know that you're a failure as a Kage and as a Jinjulki, and I know enough to know that you're beneath me. God, is there anything that you can do right? Naruto asks. Don't listen to him, Mizukage Dano, said Killer B, as he wielded a blade in each hand. As the both of them were chasing him, Naruto dropped a kunai and shuriken ever so often, and now they were in his trap. As Naruto twisted his blade and drive it towards Earth, it was filled to the brim with lightning chakra. The great lightning field techniques, it requires markers to work, and the shurikens and kunais are acting like those markers. Killer Bee coated his body in lightning chakra as he was not really fazed by the attack. But Yager cried out in pain. Electricity ran into his staff and electrocuted him. That was the problem of being a host to a water-based Biju. He was much more susceptible to lightning release. It doesn't even matter if you have a perfect relationship with the Sandbai. This place will be your grave, said Naruto. Despite him giving all of this big talk, Naruto knew that it would be difficult, as those two were in perfect synchrony, and Ayo was only able to take Yujito out of the battle by placing her unconscious. And now things were getting heated up as he saw their demon chakra starting to coat their bodies. As he decided not to release his yet, he wanted to see how far and how much he could keep up with them. But he knew that Killer Bee was just doing it to, well, mimic the Mizukage. After all, the Mizukage was sent reeling after his last lightning attack, and he was getting furious, while Bee on the other hand, he seemed perfectly calm. One way or another, he knew that he was going to hurt like hell when this battle was all over. Yes, he was going to be in a shitload of pain, as things were really getting heated up right now. But guys, if the end steps are right here, if you want the next part of it, to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of the what is coming over on Anime King and Anime King 3. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. And stay in tune because I'll be posting an episode of What If Naruto was Betrayed by Hagoromo over on Anime King 3. So stay in tune for that guys. I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was Direct Descent of Sage over on Anime King, which I do hope that you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.
My throne.